This is the Nexigo N660P 1080p autofocus webcam. This is my favorite webcam that I have ever owned. So when Nexigo reached out to me and asked me to do a review of their new N940P 2K QHD webcam, I jumped on the opportunity because I'm really excited to see what kind of quality we can get out of this webcam. With that being said, even though Nexigo did send me this product to keep, that will in no way influence my opinion of this product. What you're going to get from me here is a fair and honest review. But I've yammered and disclaimed enough, time to open this box up and see what we get inside. Alright, it looks like we've got a couple of privacy covers here. We've got some paperwork, which I never read. We've got the webcam itself here. The cable is built into the camera. We've got a tripod mount, and we've got an easy clip to put this on top of a monitor. We've got some side-to-side tilt, up and down tilt, and the webcam spins all the way around. The USB cable is about 6 feet long. Also in the box, we have a remote control, and we also have a USB-C adapter. For tech specs, we've got a 2K resolution at 30 frames per second, or 1080 at 60 frames per second. Autofocus, Sony CMOS sensor, 80-degree field of view, digital zoom up to 3 times, built-in noise-canceling microphone, and auto white balance. Alright, so here's what the Nexigo N940P looks like with a 2K recording in OBS Studio. The webcam is about 2 feet away from me right now, and I gotta say, I'm really not blown away by the image quality of this thing. I have one small desk lamp on right now over here, and I've got lighting coming in from the window, and to me the colors look really oversaturated, and as we can see, we've clearly got some hot spots with the lighting on my face here. I'm going to do an autofocus test right now, and here we go. And the autofocus seems to be doing a pretty good job, so I will give it a plus for that. That's really fast autofocus for a webcam. So in that autofocus test, I was showing you the remote that comes with this webcam, and we've got some buttons here for focus and home. We've got a mute button for the mic. We've got zoom in and out. We've got mirror flip, and we've got volume up and down. And what I found is you cannot use this remote to zoom in and out with the webcam while it's set in 2K mode. So I'm going to switch it over to 1080p now, and I'm going to play around with the zoom and focus control with this remote. Okay, so when I made the switch over to 1080p, I did notice something here. I'm recording this in 60 frames per second because this claims that it is a 60 FPS webcam when you're in 1080p mode. But what I noticed was that when I switched over to 1080, the picture punched in. So I'm going to take it out of 60 FPS mode here and put it in 30. And now we can see that the picture is not as punched in as it was. So I'm going to switch back to 60, and we see that it zooms in a little bit more. So there's definitely some funky stuff going on to compensate with the frame rate in different resolution modes. So that's a bit disappointing. Anyway, we might as well do a frame rate test at 60 FPS while we're at it here. So I'm in 1080p mode, 60 frames per second right now, and I'm going to move this remote around and kind of look for any skipped frames later on after I record this video. And it looks like it passed the frame rate test. So now I've dropped the frame rate back down to 30. We're not as punched in as we were. I'm going to do the test with the remote where I'm going to mess around with the buttons on the remote and see what kind of response we get out of this webcam. Okay, so now I'm using the home focus buttons. Okay, so we can move the... So this is odd. It looks like whatever mode you're in, it's basically just in a cropped 2K, I would guess, because I can move the picture up and down, and we can clearly see that there are some parts of the image that are out of bounds when I do this up, down, left, right. It's just punched in. That's something that you can just do in OBS. As far as zooming in, this is zoomed in all the way right now. Zooming all the way out, okay? I'm going to mess around with the mirror button now. Okay. It's actually mirror flip. And we're back to normal now. There are volume controls up and down. I'm assuming that's for the built-in microphone. And there's also a mute button. Also, I'm assuming that's for the microphone. I'm going to do a mic test for this machine right now. All right, so here's a microphone test of the built-in microphone of the Nexigo N940P. I've got everything set at default for the default settings of where I plug this webcam in. The Windows volume setting for the microphone is set at 43. And it looks like the audio is peaking a little bit in OBS Studio. And my neighbor is driving by on their lawnmower right now. So let's listen for some background noise. So I pretty much never recommend using the built-in microphone on a webcam, but I did want to include this microphone test for anybody who would be interested in hearing what it sounds like. And now the real test for me, does it beat the Nexigo N660P, which I mentioned before has been my favorite webcam for such a long time now. I just love the picture of the Nexigo N660P. We're going to throw them up here side by side now and see how they look. Alright, so here they are side by side. I've got the N940P here and the N660P here, and you can see the video for yourself. I really believe that the N660P looks a lot better. I've got this one over here, the N940P, set in 2K, and I've got the N660P set in 1080, and I think the 1080 video from the N660P blows the N940P out of the water. The colors are a little bit more muted on the N660P, whereas with the N940P we've got some higher contrast, we've got higher saturation, and we've got the hot spots with the lighting that we can see here. But I think overall I would take the muted colors and jack them up in post-production or in OBS Studio, and I just think that the N660P looks a lot better. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, which video looks better, the N660P or the N940, but I gotta go with the N660P. But with that, I'm going to wrap this video up with a shout out to my channel supporters. If you would like to support this channel either on Patreon or Ko-Fi, there will be links in the description below. Donations are appreciated and they help this channel grow, but they are never expected. And remember, the best way you can help this or any other small channel grow is to interact with the content. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. That's it for now, and I'll see you next time with more money-saving tech tips, tutorials, and tech reviews.